Hello and welcome back to my channel, helping educators to be successful and thrive in the classroom without burning themselves out. So today's focus is how to leave work as a teacher. How to leave work as a teacher. One of the hardest things for teachers to do is to leave work at work. I was a teacher who brought bags home from work every day. And guess what? Those bags didn't always get touched because I was drained from the work at work. You probably can relate. Why it is so hard for us to leave work at work? Well, there's always work to do. We are emotionally attached to work because we're working with kids and we're helping students to be successful in life. And so there's always work to do and we want to make sure that it gets done. And then we have guilt if we're not doing the work. So those three things do not help us to leave work at work. But the shift that you have to make in this whole thing is that there will always be work. Does not matter how efficient or how effective you are at teaching and at your teacher task. There's always something extra, something additional that you could be doing. But our energy will not always be there. And if you don't have the energy to do it, guess what? It won't get done anyway. So I'm going to give you 5 strategies that are practical that you can utilize to learn to keep work at work and go home in a more sustainable and calm way. So 1, set a closing routine. A lot of teachers pack up in a rush, in a hurry. Things are just thrown everywhere. There's not need, just cluttered bag full of things to do and rush out the door. That is not a way to set a closing routine. So what are some things that you can do so that you can leave calm and in a good headspace, knowing that you've done what you need to do for the day and that you can go home refreshed and ready to live your regular life outside of work and come back the next day ready to work? Well, number 1 is set your closing routine. So setting a closing routine helps you to wrap up things in your mind. It helps you to release the day. And it helps you to transition smoothly into your personal life. So how can you actually do this? Sounds easy, right? Well, let me help you to unpack how to set a closing routine. So first you need to reset your space. So straighten out your desk, stack your papers, and put materials where they belong so when you come in the next day, everything is nice, neat, and tidy, and you're able to just get started. The second thing to close out your day, which is kind of leading us into our second way, our second strategy, is to prioritize 3 tasks. What are the most important things you need for the next day? Those top 3 things. Maybe it's to call a certain parent. Maybe it's to prepare your slides for the next day. Or maybe it's to prepare for your small group. Why is it important to prioritize those 3 things? So that your brain can stop mulling over everything and holding on to everything. And you'll feel complete. And that leads us to practical strategy number 3, to create that mental shutoff. So once you have set your closing routine and gotten your desk and things in order for the next day, once you have created your 3 tasks that you're prioritizing, now your brain can mentally shut off the work for the day. You can create a parking lot to list out all of the things that are in your brain that's related to work so that you can release that and be able to go home in a more freeing state. You won't have to carry all those things with you mentally because we have so many things on our brain as it relates to education and life. It can get overwhelming. things you may want to include in your parking lot, maybe some reminders, maybe some things you didn't finish, or maybe some ideas. Number 4, give yourself permission to stop for the day. Mentally tell yourself, I've done all I can do for the day. Tomorrow is another opportunity to finish what I started. This is emotional closure that we as teachers usually skip because we're so busy trying to do everything all the time. And we cannot. It's impossible. And number 5, limit what you take home because you have a personal life. Many of us have spouses, children, pets that we go home to. And so we need to be able to pour into those individuals as they pour into us instead of going home exhausted and drained and just on repeat every single day. That's not living. That's just existing. So pack up your things intentionally. Turn off your computer, pick up your bag. If there is something you're taking home to complete, maybe one thing, you place that in your bag and you pick up that bag and you walk out the door. And you don't look back until the next day. It's when it's time to return. So when you leave work and you don't have 1,000,001 papers with you, your bag isn't weighing your shoulder down, it does not mean that you're not dedicated. It does not mean that you don't care. It means you are leading a sustainable life as an educator. It means that you care about your performance in your classroom, with your students. It means you care about yourself and your family. So leaving work at work and going home to be with your family, your friends, your pets, your plants, whatever, that is important and that matters. And I highly recommend it. It makes this work, this important work, more sustainable, and you have more longevity. You deserve a life outside of teaching. What is one thing that helps you disconnect after school? Comment below. And if you don't have that one thing yet, what is one thing you plan on adopting to help you disconnect after school? Please comment below. Please like this video. Share it with someone who can benefit from hearing it. Subscribe to the channel so that you can get notifications of the new videos and become part of this community of thriving educators. Until next time, bye-bye.